Welcome back to another episode of Talon Talk. Whatever your listening preference, you can find our feature interviews on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, and of course on UNFOspreys.com. Don't miss our chats with student athletes, coaches, alumni, and Ospreys in the pros. Now, let's get to today's episode. Welcome back to edition number 39 of Talon Talk. We've got a pair of guests on today. Great UNF men's golf connections and Northeast Florida golfers, Jordan Batchelor and Mike Mattiace. Mike is playing right now. Jordan is also playing, but moved into a coaching role here at UNF. Thanks for being on.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
So you guys were doing some playing recently. Elaborate on where you guys were playing, what you were playing in, and how that was.
I think Jordan and I both played a handful of rounds during the summer. Golf is usually like social distancing. It's the one thing you can do really during this time. So we were able to take advantage of that to the fullest potential. And so graciously, I don't know how it happened, but this year for USGA, they did no qualifying. So they went off of just ranking only, and Jordan and I happened to be ranked high enough in the World Amateur Golf Rankings, so we sneaked in and got to play in the United States Amateur this summer, which was, it was a blast. The views were awesome, and we had a great time.
Yeah, how was that for you, Jordan?
It was awesome. It was the second USAM I played in, and this year versus the last one was much different just with everything going on. But this year the venue was really cool. It was up in Oregon, right on the coast, which was beautiful. So yeah, it was a nice place to spend the week. And luckily I had Mikey there with me, so we were able to have some fun up there.
Had you guys ever been out to that part of the country before?
I haven't personally. It's the first time I'd really played golf on the West Coast. So, but yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I've been to the West Coast a few times, Northern Cali, Sacramento area, but never as far up as Oregon. We flew into Portland, which was a sight to see. I did. Jordan flew into Eugene, but Portland was interesting.
Yeah, you get some mountains coming into and a lot of forested areas too. Very different. Is it different playing golf out there for you guys when you play? The few times you have played out on the West Coast, is there anything different in terms of how the ball travels or just how the ball rolls or whatever?
I think specifically at Bandon, place was rock hard. So it's a lot different than Florida golf. Florida's your sea level and everything's kind of a little bit moist and wet. So the ball did travel on the ground a lot further than it did here in Florida, which was nice to see, because if you can hit that low one, a little bullet, then you could really maximize your roll out there. But it's also tough because then you have some trouble like holding some greens, so front pins. So it was a good test of golf, definitely.
Yeah, how about for you, Jordan?
It was definitely different. It was the type of grass that I don't think most people realize, but the type of grass you play on has a big difference on how the ball reacts. And the type of grass out there you don't see on the East Coast really, especially Southeast. So that was it was fun to play on. It usually takes a day or two to kind of adjust to kind of how everything ball and the club reacts to the grass. But it was golf. I think it's usually the same principles wherever you're at. You got to hit certain shots. Got to hit good shots no matter what. So, other than that, it was pretty good.
What was it like to get selected? How did that process go? And do you know why what the reasons for no qualifying were?
Yeah, I can expand on that a little bit. So initially the USGA said no qualifying. We're going to do the top 225 people in the World Amateur Rankings. So that was their goal, that to get as many people out of that as possible. And then with some travel restrictions, some bans on coming in the United States, some internationals obviously couldn't get into the United States, so they could not unfortunately play in the event. So that opened the door for Jordan and I being just outside 225. So we signed up as alternates per se, and once they went down the list of the rankings, and then our names got called somewheres between close to a month out from the tournament. So it wasn't like we were rushed to get there. When we both got the phone calls, we were very excited to be playing in the event.
Did one of you know earlier than the other, or was it kind of like simultaneous?
It was within a day or two, I think.
Mhm.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was very, very close. So it was exciting.
So when you
Yeah.
both found out that you were doing it together, how does that go? I mean, you guys are like competing against one another, but obviously rooting for one another at the same time. And then I'm sure you've probably played against some people out there that you've played against before. Is that the case?
Yeah, definitely. So Jordan did get the call first the day before, and I'm like, wow, man, him and I are ranked really close. So I'm like, my number must be up pretty soon, and sure be it the day after I got the call. But back to your question, playing together out there and practicing together. Jordan and I, we played we practiced together, played the par 3 together beforehand. We tried to link up in the practice rounds, but unfortunately, USGA had set practice rounds times based on the course you were playing. So Jordan and I were on opposite ends of that. But we still got together for lunches and a little practice session. So that was fun.
Changing gears a little bit, Jordan, congrats on now coaching here and
Thank you. I
continuing
appreciate it.
that. Yeah, that's very cool, and I'm sure that's, you know, a satisfying thing to come in as a player and then being able to be respected is enough to be coaching.
Yeah,
I'm
for
sure
sure.
it's very fun. How is that? You know, obviously, Mikey, you're playing, and Jordan's now coaching, and you're coaching some of the guys that you were teammates with. What's that experience like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely different for guys like Mikey and some of the older guys on the team that I did play with versus some of the freshmen that have come in when I wasn't on the team. Yeah, I know Mikey and the older guys are all going to do the right things, and I really don't have to be in their ear much about practicing hard and doing all the right things with school. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely nice for me since I was in their shoes so recently that I kind of know the struggles that pop up and all the things they have to deal with. So I'm hoping that'll kind of be a good way for me to connect with the younger guys on the team and help them out as they kind of go through their college golf career.
For you, Mikey, talking about Jordan, could you imagine him being your assistant coach at one point? Did you think that would happen?
No, I did not think that would happen, but I think our coach Scott Schroeder has done a great job with our assistant coaches, bringing in a little younger guy that the people on the team can gel with a little bit more. We can talk to a little more easier. There's not really like head coach, like I don't know if I can talk to him about that, like a barrier, but with a younger assistant coach that like, especially Jordan, right out of school, becoming an assistant coach. I mean, that's a great contact to have and someone we can really fall back on.
And you look at, Courtney Cobb is now joining as well, another golfer. Why do so many golfers from UNF men's and women's, stay around the area and then often end up giving back to the program? Jeff Dennis did the same thing. Why is that?
I mean, I think Jacksonville is a great golfing community, and it's a great way to network. I mean, you meet a lot of great people, and I think obviously UNF is one of the premier college golf programs in the Southeast, especially. So if you want to stay involved in golf and kind of branch out from there, I think it's a great stepping stone to kind of propel you in your whatever career you choose. But it's definitely going to help you meet all the right people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly. Talking about work right now and golfing, what does practice look like? How are you guys going about that? I know we talked a little bit off the record, Jordan, about that, but what's that like for you too?
I can do that. I took a summer job at Jimmy John's, so
All
I was
right.
doing a little bit of delivering for them, and then practice on my own time. So I was having to balance that and also summer tournaments. So I had a pretty busy summer, and I think I can carry that into the fall with the workload I have for school, being all online classes. I can do that towards the nighttime, and then I can do maybe work once or twice during the week, and then still be able to do my team activities with the team and get my practice sessions in.
Yeah, what's that like for you as you transition into this new role, Jordan?
I mean, I think right now it's a very strange situation for everyone. So we're just kind of adapting every day to what we think is going to be the most productive for the guys. We're lucky with golf that it's a lot easier for us to deal with it than I think a lot of other sports right now. So I think we're just trying to keep everyone competitive and keep everyone improving. So hopefully when the spring season hopefully starts, everyone feels like they've improved since the beginning of the fall. So each guy's different. They each have their own stuff that they're working on. So it's just a matter of keep pushing them in the right direction and just try and get through this fall, and hopefully the spring is better.
What's the perspective of treating a different fall season now? You know, considering things are different for you guys, normally having the fall tournaments. How do you make it useful for the spring?
So the one thing that Coach Schroeder and I decided to do is kind of do inter-team tournaments. We're going to do probably 4 or 5 of them throughout the fall. Just something for the guys to work towards, keep them competitive, and see where they stand against all the other guys in the team. So I think that'll be a good test for them, and hopefully it keeps them hungry and prepared.
Cool.
Yeah, and also we have the ability to play locally and maybe just outside of the city limits throughout Florida in some individual events that will help us stay competitive as well. And a couple of us will do that. We'll travel together so we can still stay safe that way.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit being in a warm place right now, being able to be here and always play, not worry about, okay, if you were in northern school as a golf school, having to travel during this time. So I know you guys are thankful for that. Anything else you guys want to add? Anything you want to throw out there?
Tuna?
We have 4 new freshmen on the team this year. I just got back from my 14-day quarantine after traveling outside of the state. So I had my first day back yesterday. Got to play with the guys. Got to play with 2 freshmen in my group, so that was fun, getting to know them and getting to know their games. I think we're going to be have a little bit of work to do this fall, but I think if we can all get on the same page and get connected as one team, I think we're going to have a good run for the springtime. Hopefully for the springtime, if it happens, for the national championship again. And I'm ready to get things going. Even though we're not back fully, it's good to be back around the university and around teammates.
Jordan, anything?
No, yeah, I'm super excited for the spring. I think we've got a good group of guys, and I think most importantly, they all get along really well, and they all seem to practice hard. So I'm excited to get to the spring and see what they can accomplish.
Great. Well, thanks guys for coming on. It's good to talk to you and see what your experiences were out in Oregon, and good luck this fall. Congrats again, Jordan, and good luck in master's classes, Mikey, as well. So good luck there. So thanks again, guys, and we'll be following you guys soon. Thanks for listening to Talon Talk. Find the complete archive along with feature articles on UNFOspreys.com by going to Fans and Talon Talk podcast series under the Multimedia tab.